Hi, everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Welcome. I'm Jeffrey Morgan, and this is a talk I host twice a week to discuss my experiences on the path of soul transcendence. This offering is brought to you by the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness with the encouragement and support of my friend John Morton, who holds the Mystical Traveler Consciousness, which is the spiritual consciousness that allows us to do the work that we're doing here today. If you're new to the call, the format is simple. We'll start by calling ourselves forward into light, which is calling our awareness forward into the light of God that's already present. Then we'll chant three Anai hues. Hue is an ancient name for God, and Anai invokes a quality of empathy and compassion. Then I'll play a video clip from my teacher, John Roger, and then I'll do a reading from Dionysius the Areopagite, Areopagite, and then we can talk about whatever you would like. So with that, Ron Holnick, if you feel like calling us forward into light, that'd be great.
Of course, I feel like calling us into the light. Lord God of all creation, we asked just now that we come together in harmony and loving, and set our intention to move ever more deeply and clearly into the consciousness of the loving that is the essence of us all. We ask, Lord, to be bathed in that loving and to adjust our focus so that the primary thing we are searching for are more ways that we can participate in the loving that is our essence. And for this time together, Lord, we give our thanks. So be it.
Individual peace starts with you individually. It starts with your breathing as a fundamental response to life. It's not a radical approach. It's a very fundamental approach. Next time somebody around you gets an anxiety attack or an asthma attack or emphysema or something with the lungs, just suggest to them that they alter their breathing reference. Instead of breathing up here like this, that's just making it worse. Because you hear it and you go, oh God, I am dying. And especially when that asthmatic wheeze comes up here and he goes, and then if you have to throw up and you can't, then you really feel like you're lost. So you say, open your mouth, breathe through your nose. It's plugged, I can't breathe through your mouth, breathe through your elbow, breathe through your forehead. We don't care what's plugged, keep breathing it in. When the peace starts to settle, it radiates around through the body. It's a very funny undulating thing. It goes on. It's not stale. Peace is very much alive. It's in the asthma wheeze. It's in the pain in the neck. It's in the pain in the back and the shoulder. The peace is in there because we didn't do anything except drop the pressure and the peace is there. Do you know how we know that biblically? Here's this guy, I think they call him Jesus or something like that, Joshua, Jesu. They had a name for him. He got on a boat with his followers, and the boat just started going into the stormy weather, and it was really bad. They said, "Peace, be still." And everybody else heard him. But you know what he said? Peace, be still. Because he didn't tell the peace, be still. Peace. To the other elements, be still. And as they became still, peace settled on the water and the ocean around them. Berush Bishan.
All right. Lead us up beyond light, beyond knowing and unknowing, to the topmost summit of truth, where the mysteries lie hidden, unchanging, and absolute, in the dazzling darkness of the secret silence. All light is outshined by the intensity of their shade. The senses are flooded, the mind made blind by such unseen beauty, beyond all beauty. Okay, looks like we already have somebody up to share. So, Joseph,
Hey Jeffrey, how's it going?
going pretty well.
Um, so basically, I just was wondering if you have any like advice or tips on how to stay centered. Um, a couple weeks ago, I was at like the gym and some guy I don't really know too much. It's a kind of weird story. He was like talking to my girlfriend, kind of like behind my back and trying to get her number and stuff like that. And I don't know why it really triggered me. I got like so jealous and like my emotions went like all the way like all over the place, and I kind of lashed out at her like, oh, why would you entertain it, blah, blah, blah. Then, you know, I realized I can kind of be very controlling, kind of very possessive, very jealous. And it kind of takes me out, stuff like that. And I was like, just want to be more in center and less all over the place. When I feel like threatened or feel insecure or feel like in relationships, I notice I kind of have that pattern to do that.
Yeah, um, I appreciate you bringing up the example because just saying, what can I do to be more centered as a general matter can be a bit difficult to pin down. But what you're talking about is a kind of a multifaceted experience where you're talking about biological components and levels of the basic self. Can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Um, so biological components and facets of the basic self, as well as emotional components. And to really understand what you're dealing with, you kind of have to understand, okay, there's a biological component called programming to protect your mate that's in there. And some of that is like automatic nerve responses. And it's really weird, but there are protocols amongst men that seem to be hardwired. Like, for example, this is a stupid, silly one, but just to give an example, if you saw a bathroom with open with three open urinals and one person occupied, it is absolutely not allowed for you to be in the urinal right next to that individual.
No, it is not.
It's just not. It's just like
Yeah,
nobody. You can't really explain why. So yeah. So there's a biological component. Like we're hardwired for all those protocols and nonverbal communications. So there's a piece of that which is just understanding what the buttons are and understanding that that's just part of having this karmic framework called the male body and how that works. And you can work on part of it is just understanding, oh, wow, that nerve got triggered, but that's not really what's going on. That's just something that got triggered. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's a famous biologist, E.O. Wilson, who said we have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology. But I think it's important for you to understand that fundamentally the hardware that you're dealing with is not too different from the hardware that 250,000 years ago humans were dealing with. And so some of the wiring is just still there. The wiring doesn't know about the women's movement, and the wiring doesn't really know about evolved forms of communication. And the wire, you know, there's some stuff going on there. Somebody's saying I'm breaking up, and I have no idea why. Um, yeah, I guess. Am I breaking up? Can you hear what I'm saying?
I can hear you perfectly fine for
Oh,
me. Yeah.
excellent. Okay, great. Just checking. Um, so that's the physiological component, which is what you can become aware of is just, oh, this is what happens when my body experiences this. This gets triggered. So that's called awareness and observation. Now, either you're aware of it or it runs you. It runs you when you start emotionally reacting to the physiological response, and then it becomes this feedback loop where you start getting really mad and then go, oh, well, she probably liked it too, and da 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 da, and you get yourself all worked up, and then all of a sudden you have a war on your hands. But if you can at the very beginning go, oh, my body's doing the thing that it does when it perceives this, then you go into observation with it and you send light to it, and you can just sit with it and be loving with it. Now, the next stage after the body responds to the gesture or the disrespect or whatever it is you think is going on, then all of a sudden the emotions get triggered, the beliefs get triggered, the identity gets triggered, the ego gets triggered. And then all of a sudden, all the areas that you're insecure about are going to get flared up, as you rightly pointed out, which is, well, I don't really know if she wants me anyway. And maybe she just feels trapped, and maybe you go into all those stories. And a lot of that emanates from all the parts of you that you don't want to be. So if it's like, oh, I feel like I'm so plain looking, and that guy's like, an Adonis or something, it means
Yeah.
that you demonized plain looking versus just loving it and loving everything about the body and the appearance God gave you. Or what if she abandons me? So you've made wrong abandonment, or you've created a belief structure around abandonment. And all of that can be healed. And the more that you heal that, the less those physiological reactions will then trigger the emotional reactions, because you won't have as many buttons to push. Right
Yeah.
now, you have buttons around feeling wanted or feeling desired. You have buttons around people understanding you or relating to your personality, or processing or functioning a little differently than other people do. So those are all points of sensitivity that you have that would have come from the experiences that you had in school and being associated with the family that you're associated with. You just go on the list of all the different ways that you might have felt separate from others.
Yeah, for some reason when you were talking, when you said the word abandon, that kind of like triggered me. I kind of felt like uncomfortable, like, oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
I I was poking and
Yeah.
prodding.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah. So that abandonment piece can have a lot of layers to it. So the first is, have you judged or alienated those who have been abandoned in your life or who you've witnessed being abandoned? Have you yourself experienced an abandonment and judged that? Or are you remembering an experience from a past existence or from a past life pattern where you experienced abandonment and judged yourself and judged God and judged the whole situation, that then locked it in as a recurring pattern for you? So you see how it layers in, and it's like either you play the game. It's like if life is a game of ping pong, you can be the ball just getting swatted around. You can try to be dominant and be the paddle, or you can be the player, or you can be the guy watching going, this is really fun. I get to watch these people competing over a ball that bounces. But it's like you choose, like and the degree to which you can move into that observation consciousness. And there's a great meditation from John Roger, the meditation of objectivity, that really helps with that. Or there's a couple seminars on observation that are really, really amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna look into that because I feel like I've been the ball a lot, where I'm just
Oh
like
yeah.
boom, boom, like everything's going out of control, and I'm just like, and yeah, I would like to, see from a
And,
different lens and kind of observe it. Sounds
and by the
better.
way, even before, because I mentioned the physiological response being very, very quick,
Yeah.
that physiological response uh, is it is informed by perceptual filters. So I guess another part of the story I could mention is the degree to which you've calibrated. Like, are you wearing rose-colored sunglasses or are you wearing dark sunglasses? Like, are you perceiving, are you taking in the information through a filter that says these people mean the best and they're doing the best that they're doing with what they know? Or do you have it calibrated going, somebody's going to screw me over?
The latter.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah,
yeah, again, I'm just poking around. So,
yeah. I'm
so
kind of always on edge. Okay, who's
yeah,
gonna get me this
exactly.
time? Yeah.
So, what I didn't mention originally is if you can start to shift the foundational filters by which you perceive, and this can be done through things like affirmations. So, if you were to have an affirmation like, God loves me and every particle in existence is conspiring for my highest good, you start to say that over and over and over, and all of a sudden you're going to start perceiving life more according to that than some I'm just waiting for the next person to try to screw me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a very big shift. No, even
Yeah.
just you saying it right there, I can really feel like even when things don't go your way, even when things, trigger you, it's kind of like this is all for my highest good in a way. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I'm
the
learning from
whole
this.
use everything for your upliftment, growth, and learning. And there is a way in which if you shift the perceptual filter, those physiological 250,000-year-old Paleolithic responses that you have going on may not get triggered. It might be that, so what I just mentioned, that whole chain reaction that leads to you emotionally collapsing and then needing to defend yourself and pick a fight, that doesn't actually need to even start if the very filter by which you perceive reality starts to shift more in a positive direction. Because you're not going to see disrespect. Like right there, you want, oh my God, that guy's disrespecting me.
Like that's not appropriate. That's out of line. Like you
That's out
don't
of
do that. The
line.
bro code, all that stuff.
Or,
Yeah.
or, or wow, the other interpretation is, wow, this amazing lady that everybody seems to want thinks I'm pretty awesome. Wonder how I tricked her. No, I'm kidding. But you could also interpret it very positively, like, well, I I personally I love strong women. I love very like, and I get a kick out of seeing when the woman shuts down the guy. So it's
Yeah.
like, you can be all macho, but why would you need to if you're with a lady who could take care of herself? She's gonna shut him down, and you kind of go, damn, nice. This one,
Yeah.
let's do it. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's kind of why I kind of got a little trigger with her because she's kind of very shy and she's kind of gave into it. Oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I guess you can have my number. And then she kind of saw it was maybe a little inappropriate. Then she told me, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna cut it off. And I kind of was like, why would you even entertain it? Why would you? That's kind of where I got a little into her, and I kind of felt bad because she was honest. I know her intentions weren't
It takes a
to
lot
do
of
anything
courage to
bad.
be honest about something like that and to
Yeah, like
have that.
yeah, and she told me like, "Hey, I just want to be honest. This is what happened, and like, I know it was a little out of line, so I'm gonna shut it down." And I could have handled it better. I could have been more grateful. You know what? I understand, but I was kind of more. Like, why would you do that? Like, you opened the door. Like, why would you entertain? And I need to work on that.
Well, yeah, well, it's sure. And you can clean that up with, I'm sorry. That's a good one.
Yeah,
But there's also, see, I think it's more powerful when we're in partnership with other people in relationship that we start to become advocates for each other. And if she does, I mean, look, if she wants the flirting, that's a different issue. But if she doesn't, but there's a part of her that allowed it because of like, I think that because I've worked with, um, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of women in my life in terms of the work that I do, and you connect into their energy. I think that as men, we don't always understand exactly how scary it is to be female and with a female body in a room full of men. And I think that
yeah,
it is, if I, it's like I wish I could give you the experience. Just all you would need is a second of it because that's all I needed. It's like you plug into the subconscious. It's like working with somebody with that body, that karma, that genetic,
yeah,
and then you tune into them, and then you're helping them clear a trauma or something from that moment or that feeling. And it's like I never understood that something like bone density and musculature could be at top of mind for somebody. Like you don't walk around the street painfully aware that people are bigger and stronger than you. You just don't. You don't.
yeah,
You don't think that way. But I'm telling you, as someone who was like, you feel stupid because you didn't know, but like incredible amount of compassion for the experience of having a smaller body with less bone density and less muscle density and walking into a room full of people, all of which could be a threat. So, like, there's a way in which you may be her greatest support in building the confidence and the strength and the wherewithal to say, I don't want to be pursued by you. Thanks, but no thanks. Goodbye. But she may need your support and your loving to build the confidence to do that.
yeah. And no, you tell me that does kind of give me more compassion because she actually told me initially she kind of was shutting it down. He's being very persistent. Oh, come on, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not like that. And then she kind of felt, oh, okay. So, but I kind of get it now. The way you're describing it is, yeah. I guess if I could put myself in her shoes in that scenario, it's probably uncomfortable, and she probably just kind of gave into a little bit just to stop the pressure and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
yeah, it's a whole different way of thinking about it, you know, or experiencing it.
yeah. I think in a way your compassion can become a lot louder than your righteousness. I'm not saying any of this as an expert. I'm saying this as somebody who was, slapped in the face by tuning into the consciousness, going, "Oh my God, that's what you have to deal with when you go to a concert." My God, it's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
going, if there's anything I can possibly do to make this person feel safer and more loved and more accepted, I'm going to do it.
yeah. No, and I would love to do that for her or anyone like I'm entangled with. It would be nice to, yeah, like I'm here for you. I support you. I see you. I understand.
Yeah.
We're different, but just being compassionate for that. I get it. Oh, I'm gonna start opening my horizon, and that's why you can't really judge because if you really put yourself in another person's shoes, it's like how could you judge when you really understand everything?
Yeah. Well, thank you for even asking the question and having the intention to be more in your center. I think that's a great step.
Yeah, I was a little nervous putting that information out there, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
No, no, that's courageous, and I
Yeah,
think I think honesty is the key to getting that healing from spirit anyway. If we're too busy trying to pretend that we're not something or that we're somehow exempt, we don't make ourselves available for that healing.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
All right, John Michael.
Oh, thank you. That was an amazing interchange. I have a two-part question about family karma.
Okay.
My parents were born in the same country, in the same village, next door to each other, the same year, 3 days apart. And to me, that indicates there was an urgency about clearing karma in that particular time. I wonder if you would comment on the nature of that relationship, and also, as their son, what would be my learning out of that relationship?
Yeah, that feels like a pretty personal question. Like, is there a more universal question you have about that?
I'd rather keep it personal. I want to hit it right between the eyes. I don't want to just, circle around it. Give me what you got, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think for purposes of this group, I'd rather answer questions that benefit everybody rather than just you.
Well, I think that would be beneficial to other people as well.
Well, how are you're asking about family dynamics or like what I don't even quite understand what the question is.
Which part of the question don't you understand? Well, just the proximity of their situation where they have all these things that it's so close together. To me, it's so unusual. And I was wondering why that would be so unusual. How many people have a relationship where there's so much proximity?
What does this have to do with you?
Well, that's my second question.
Well, what, if all
Well,
relationships are inside of you, why are you asking me about this remote situation? What do you get inside of you? How do you relate to it?
that's
And
what I'm
why does
asking.
it matter? There's no accident there's not a single atom in existence that is placed accidentally.
Right?
So this is just yet another example of more atoms that are not placed accidentally.
Okay. Can you give me more than that?
Yeah, well, what do you, I just don't get what you want to know.
Well, I like to know why being the son in their relationship, what am I learning that? Why did I come in with them, in other words?
You came in with them because you chose them, because there was a compatibility between their karma and your life plan,
Okay.
which is the case for everybody.
Okay, so that's about as close as we can get to it.
If you can't be a bit clearer about what is it that disturbs you about it, what are you actually trying to get out of us talking right now? Well, like if the discussion went exactly the way you wanted, what would you experience right now?
Well, I guess I would ask for a clearing because my karma was probably involved in there with them, maybe in another lifetime, perhaps, something like that. And it was
I,
brought forward, and maybe I'm trying to clear it along with them at the same time.
what makes you think you're not clearing things with them, or what makes you think it's not already handled?
I guess I really don't know. Well, one thing is it's been on my mind for many years, so that's why I think it keeps coming up. So I think maybe it needs to be clear for that reason.
So what is it about it that's been on your mind for many years?
Well, the proximity, first of all, I mean that seems to be so unique.
That they came from the same village?
Same village, the same country. I mean, the same year, the same, 3 days apart. I mean, it's almost like being married to yourself.
It's not that uncommon in rural Europe for that scenario to occur where you would get married to a person from your town.
Uh-huh.
Another question might be, why does it need to be unique for you?
Well, I think they gave me lessons that I think I've already learned. So I don't know why I keep thinking about it. I'm trying to understand
Got
it.
it. So you feel incomplete in your relationship with your parents?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so that's what we're really talking about.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
You were just trying to get me to do a reading to try and address that for you
That's what I
in a
was
very
going for. Yeah.
circumspect way.
Yep. You found me out. Yes.
Yeah. What is it that you feel incomplete about? Is there something you didn't say?
Well, we didn't have a real loving relationship for all those years, and the reason was they came over to this country late in life in their 30s, and they never fully mastered English. So because of that, we never actually, for mealtime, we never actually gathered together. We all ate separately for meal times. And I
Okay.
guess that's something that's still, you know,
Okay,
still
so you
bothers me, I think.
yeah, I think what you're talking about is feeling incomplete in your communication with them and
That's right.
feeling like you have, like, here they are being born, they're practically the same person. They could finish each other's sentences, and you're on the outs because you're not from that culture and you feel at a distance and you feel separate from them.
I didn't feel included.
You felt excluded.
Yeah, that's right.
Got it. So that's what you're really talking about healing. What
That's
happened is your mental level thought a bunch of steps ahead and said, how can I manipulate Jeffrey into giving me information that might solve that problem? But that's not actually the problem when you want to solve. What you
Yeah,
want to solve for is I excluded from my parents' relationship.
that's right.
You want to
That's
know
right.
how to actually address that?
Yeah, I like to be complete on it.
Go inside and be
Okay.
included in their relationship. Sit with them at the dinner table. Tell them everything. Have them speak perfect English. Hold hands. Listen to all the things they have to tell you. Hey, invite John Roger to dinner with you while you're at it. Why not? Have him at the table. Have a conversation. Tell them you love them. Listen to them tell you that they love you. Just do it.
I'm going to work on that one. That seems simple enough, but I think it's the answer.
It is the answer. Most of the time, we tell ourselves the exterior world is real and the interior world is made up, right? And
Yeah.
because of that, we tell ourselves that in order for me to feel better, this exterior circumstance needs to change. And that is the same load of bullshit humanity's been sold since we started holding bodies. It wasn't true then, it isn't true now. We have everything that we need to feel whole, complete, and totally loved within us. And it's all available if we choose it. As you sit at the table, if you notice that one of them is upset or has something to clear, you know how to assist them in clearing it. Ask them what color light they want to be bathed in. Ask them. You can ask JR to go assist them. You can have whatever delicious food you want at the table. All the things that they never let you eat when you were a kid because they were eating whatever it is that they ate in their village. All the things that you think you were deprived of are available right now.
You know, since you started talking, I'm already starting to feel lighter, you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, you gave me something to work with. Thank you for that.
God bless you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bless you.
All right, Maria.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I like the new frames.
Thank you.
Um, I don't know the best way to frame this question, so I might stumble around it, but um, there's I'm trying to be honest as I'm talking. I'd say like a prayer coming up inside of me. That's very, oh God, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, I'm fine. That's very strong. It's really strong inside of me, and it's around that Rumi quote, the beyond the field of right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. And I I experience very much. I mean, like the that kind of field, when I leave my body or when I connect up and like things like that. But I have this question or prayer or intention around my actual physical body energy, learning how to work in a field that is no longer, or I don't know, to work in a field that's not playing the game of right and wrong, good and evil. So it's like spiritually, I know I have moments of that oneness, but in my actual auric field, it's like it's just not learning that, I guess, or not as quickly as I'd like it to.
Mhm.
And I think that's the intention. I mean, I have some like more selfish reasons why I would like my field to respond more to this, but um, I guess partly because I know that if I shift out and into like that field, then I won't, it's like I can just move, I just want to move beyond like a lot of these things that come my way, like psychically and what have you. And yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know besides just setting the intention and the prayer for it, for that.
Yeah, to some extent, the only way out is through. And that is when we're working with a mystical traveler, moving up in the levels of initiation, the traveler will bore a U-shaped hole through each of the levels just so you can be established on each level, because then it becomes easier to work on the level below until you become established in the soul realm, and then you may come back through and work through all those levels. So part of it is, and one of the, I guess inconvenient kind of like fine print with doing this work is, in order to get out in one lifetime, in order to get established on those levels, we are going to have to deal with some of our creations from past existences.
Mhm.
Now, in some cases, the creation from past existences are nice. Like it might be psychic abilities, or it might be skills, or it might be really nice karma with money. But then in other instances, it might be that we made some boo-boos in the past, and we made some friends and affiliations with beings that are now coming back around, like because they already have doorways in. When you talk about the Rumi quote, right, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field, I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To me, that is the soul level. That is what the kind of yogis call Sachkhand or Satlok, the level of truth. Um, and that's essentially the oneness you seek. And the good news is it's like you're on a path to getting that, but the price you have to pay is just whatever you got to pay to get there. And it's not, you're never going to be given anything you can't handle. It just might be uncomfortable and you might dislike it. And that's totally fine. You can dislike it, you can bitch, you can use a lot of swear words. Lord knows I do. Yeah, and but I think it's important for people on this path working with the mystical traveler to always keep the eyes on the prize, and that is soul consciousness. And I think that to a large extent, the demonstration of Jesus was the transcendence of the flesh, and most of our karmas are held at the level of the physical body that expresses the karmas that we have accrued that needs to be expressed in this life plan. the astral body and many of the thoughts, ideas, and imagination, and then the causal body, which is where most people have gotten trapped, and the Lord of that level that traps them. So we store a lot of that on those three levels. At the same time, as we walk through each step of this path, if we recognize this is the price we're paying for what you described, for the ocean of love and mercy. See, there's a temptation of the mind and the emotions to look at the situation and go, I'm physically uncomfortable, I'm emotionally uncomfortable, I'm seeing things that I don't like, I'm hearing things that I don't like, I feel slimed, I feel, fill in the blank. On the one hand, we're always working on refining the consciousness to be able to work with that, garbage in, garbage out, and that will come in time, and it has been better. It keeps getting better, it keeps getting more sophisticated. But at least for me, I have those glimpses in that experience of soul consciousness and beyond that somehow deep within myself, I say, well, if this is the price that I need to pay to walk as the beloved in complete oneness, then I gladly pay it. So
And
the mind and the emotions will start to say, oh, something's broken, something's wrong, I'm forsaken, something's messing with this, something. And that's like you roll the tape back and we talk about all the lifetimes where you acquired psychic abilities and all that. And that's what happens when you have psychic abilities. It's like I sometimes am very, very jealous of people who don't have my sensitivities because I've talked to people that I'm very close to, like, yeah, all I did was I just chant my tone and I don't really know what's going on, but I just like read my discourses, I chant my tone, got all my initiations, worked with chair. I feel really good. I don't know. I mean, everybody talks about this woo woo shit, but I just chant my tone and and they're like, but then there's like people who have more of that history of gaining those intuitive abilities where it's like you're watching all of it in Technicolor. It's kind of like there are those who get to just enjoy the sausage and those who get to watch how the sausage is made, right? And if you've ever watched a cooking show and seen how sausage is made, which admittedly I have, it ain't pretty.
that is so gross.
It ain't pretty. And that's also a reason why, I mean, I've read from John Roger,
Oh my God.
sometimes it's better not to know. Sometimes it's better not to dig and figure out what's going on because the traveler's just handling it. And it's kind of like Wile E. Coyote chasing the roadrunner. You go out over the cliff and everything's working all fine until you look down and then you go, oh shit, I'm thousands of feet up, and then you fall. So it's like sometimes it's better to just go, the traveler's got this, thank God, and to not know all the details. But I'm saying this to you as somebody like you have intuition, you have these things. So you know that I know that you know that I know that what it's like to see it in Technicolor and to not all and to know and to see all the things that have been accrued and created and to see how not pretty that is when it gets processed. And I have had direct experience that even the very highest lords of the negative power bend the knee to the mystical traveler. And I can remember one time I had this vision of Ishwara, like Shiva, like this, big blue skin, amazing light being, it was the whole thing. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird. I thought I was doing SCs. I thought I was going to see something more in line with our teaching. What is this big multi-armed thing going on? You know? And what ended up happening was I saw appear on the right the radiant form of the mystical travelers, John Roger, because that's my reference point for that. And I see this big, magnificent being fall to its knees and start to crawl over and kiss the feet of the radiant form of JR. And then it occurred to me, I went, wow, I guess even, even the negative power has to bend the knee to the mystical traveler consciousness. And in a sense, that's a comfort because look, whether we choose the easy way or the hard way, there really is only one way.
Yeah.
So, and yet there are billions of ways in that one way.
Yeah.
And all this to say, you are doing better. You continue to do better. Every day you learn something new. Every day you get stronger. And I think the key is the discipline of knowing that it is all orchestrated. There's not one molecule placed accidentally in your experience. There's no accidents. There's no wrong. There's no mistakes. There's just discomfort and comfort and preferences. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time being uncomfortable. Just,
Yeah. So my even yeah.
what?
I guess I'm just like, yeah, the answer to this next question is yes, but I mean, there's just something in me that's just really hopeful that as I continue doing this, that physically I will like not just like me leaving being great and coming back. It's just like even here as I walk the earth that it can learn also like in its interaction with
Yeah,
the world to learn like even my earth field can learn this.
yeah. I would say the first step is you get established in, and it's like I talk about space. It's a silly thing, but you get established in soul consciousness and beyond.
Yeah.
And then you become a very useful commutator of light. And then as you offer yourself to that infiniteness and say, I give you every level, layer, and aspect of my being as a means of expression of your divine light and sound, then what'll often happen, and what happened in my experience, is the spirit, being no respecter of persons, says, oh, well, now that you're offering, we'll just make these adjustments to make you more useful. And then all of a sudden, you're walking into a room and find that the spirit is acting through you into that room. And all you're doing is going there to buy a stick of gum, but it's working with everybody. And it ain't you doing it. You're just a really good channel, commutator, lightning rod, whatever, what have you. You're good. You're the most convenient meat sack for the spirit to use in that moment.
Oh God.
No, I know. Like I don't have a very romantic notion about any of it.
Making sausages and meat sacks.
Yeah, see, it all comes back around, you see. That's how you know I'm a good storyteller. So, but the point is, we are often upgraded, shifted at the level of our willingness to serve.
Mhm.
Discomfort will often push us inward and doing anything we possibly can to eliminate the discomfort. I've actually found my capacity increases in direct proportion to my willingness to serve God's work and selflessly serve, meaning let go of the ego position, let go of the story. And then usually the consciousness receives the upgrades and the things that you're talking about in direct proportion to what's needed to do God's work. But at this stage, it's really initially going up through the initiations. It's like get to soul realm, get to soul realm, establish that connection point, go up the 27 levels, like do that, like just connect into the infiniteness that we've been given. And then as you become more and more lost in that beauty, you start to become less identified with this body that has all the stuff you're talking about, and then you become more in a consciousness of service through the ministry and through what we do, that the spirit then passes through and will often transform the state of the body in order to accommodate that new frequency of energy. Now, here's the other fine print. That ain't comfortable either.
Doesn't sound comfortable.
No, it's not. And sometimes it feels like you're being split at a cellular level, like you're being microwaved because somebody up there had the bright idea to turn the volume up to 11, and then the spirit really comes in. And some people in this room know what I'm talking about. It's like you'll be in a seminar, you'll be in something, and all of a sudden you're like, you're like that wasn't comfortable. No, it's not comfortable, but it's magnificent. And it transforms the state of the body and every level of the consciousness to accommodate a flow that is bigger than any individual consciousness. And Meister Eckhart talks about it as almost like an emptying of the self and being full of the Christ. And it's a beautiful experience. But again, I don't know that this path of soul transcendence is set up for comfort, but it is set up for freedom. Now, I've spent plenty of lifetimes being comfortable, and it just got me more lifetimes on this wacky, wacky world. So I'm in it for whatever it takes, whatever it takes to get free. So,
Thank you. Just revving up the engines.
yeah. And maybe I just have that rebellious side. And there's another, like sometimes you're going to get hit by negativity because you're onto something really beautiful. And then I have a very defiant part of me that's kind of like, is that your best shot? And then I just keep
Oh
going.
my God, no. No, I don't. That's not my
No,
no.
no, I know. I'm
Zero Maria taunting them. Can you do
no, no, I know. I have that defiant part of me. And at the same time, like with the things I've experienced, I know that even the negative power is loving God in their way and stalking the spirit in their way.
Yeah,
So I love them too, and I wish them well, and I hope that they find a mystical traveler that takes them home to the heart of God.
yeah,
So it's it's a different angle.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you very much.
All right, Terry Joe.
Hey, Jeffrey and everybody. Um, so my question is about judgment, and it's kind of it's a really serious one for me. And I'll give you just a little tiny bit of story. I'm really angry with my brother right now, like really angry. We are super close, have always been super close. Our mother died when we were young. I suspect we just, traveled many lifetimes. And I'm pretty sure he's using drugs again right now and lying about it. And I feel really betrayed and, abandoned and like all those things. And I feel like I know what to do with the feelings, although it's interesting. They're more vulnerable right now when I'm sharing with you. And I get that the anger keeps me from feeling that, I think. But I guess the question that part of me is coming in is, how do we let go of judgment when we're really in judgment? And even though I have all these tools, I don't feel like like I could freeform write, I could look at the projection, there's all these things, but it's not touching it.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm going to speak to your case, but I think it's a lot of people. You're relating to judgment as the phenomena that needs to be addressed or something like that,
Yeah. Like I'm bad because I judge him.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, another angle would be judgment is a symptom, like itching is a symptom, or like, fatigue is a symptom. It's like judgment is a symptom or a way that your consciousness works with another condition.
Okay.
Like judgment is how I return order to a consciousness that feels disordered or chaotic.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
use judgment as a way of creating equilibrium or creating structure.
Yeah.
Judging Judgment can, in that sense, make the basic self or the child within feel safe.
Safe. Yeah.
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 Because it creates boxes, it creates
Yeah.
walls. It's not, and the anger, you're just misdiagnosing what's really going on from the anger perspective, because what it is you're so it's more like you have a basic self connection with him,
Yeah. Very strong.
because your basic selves would have been like in one body in a past life. Now I'm not going to do a whole reading on that, but you were this, it was like in a functional way you were the same person in the past. So some of those doors are still open. So
Mhm.
all those years when he was using stuff, and even if he's using stuff now, you're angry because you have still a back door in, so he's affecting you.
Yes, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, so and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's his body, it's his life, if it's whatever. Well,
Yeah.
in this particular case, it would be similar to like in a marriage.
Hmm.
So it's like in the one sense, oh, it doesn't matter, my husband or my wife, they're out, they're drinking with their friends, they're doing this, this, and this, but that's their life, that's their body. Except that you share karma, so you're gonna bring home those entities, and all of a sudden they're my entities. You
Yeah.
follow?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly what I'm feeling.
right. So instead of so there's a couple pieces, because I've had similar experiences. It's like I'll be really, really angry at a person, and then I'll figure out what the openings and the back doors are and close them and clear them, which
Yes.
could be like, it's like, for example, like you have an Akka cord or like a psychic umbilical cord from navel to navel. If you were
Hmm.
just to visualize that and let go of any memory or ask for the light to clear any memory, and then just see yourself almost cutting that like this,
Yeah.
that would already help clear a layer of it. But there are other openings.
Other. Well,
Basically, what
can I
hap-
say?
what happens is you get attacked through him,
Yeah.
and the reason you get angry is because you feel powerless to stop the attacks.
Yeah. I'm
So
also getting attacked by him because I'm questioning things, and
no,
he.
that's just your sibling stuff.
Yeah.
What's really I mean, fighting is just part of being siblings. That part, what I'm saying is you're reacting more severely, or it's shaking you more, because through him you're getting hit by negativity,
Hmm.
there's a backdoor in, and you feel powerless to stop it despite your best efforts and all the training on all the psychic protection and all the things you know how to do, and it seems like all for naught because he's being irresponsible.
Hmm.
So your basic self gets really furious about that,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you feel like no
Because
matter
I'm
what,
responsible.
yeah, because no matter what I do, no matter how smart I am, no matter how conscious I am about eating clean food and not being near this negativity and not going to this bar, I'm still getting hit as if I was doing everything he was doing. This isn't fair. So the basic self gets real pissed off.
There. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it's not really about him betraying you. I hear you, but it's more like betrayal, as in like if you were conjoined twins or something, and one twin decided to drink heavily, and because you share the same liver, you get drunk. It's more like that. I know that sounds very obscure, but I'm trying to tell you that your mind is explaining the anger with a story, and I'm telling you, you just have energetic openings to him, and then you're doing the judgment thing to try and create barriers and stability, because you're being destabilized by just being attacked.
Yeah. So what do I do?
So what you do is you start to go look around, and this is like, can be, it depends on your level of intuition and your level of work, but you start to look at like, did I make an agreement with him? And it could be an agreement from a past life or something like that, but it'd come forward and be like, oh, got it. I agreed that he's my child and I need to take care. Okay, so I'm not his mother. It's not my responsibility to rescue him from his drug use. It's not my responsibility to take on negativity from him. Okay. And then it's almost like stream of consciousness. You go where it goes. Like, is it an agreement? Is it a bond? Is it an initiation? Is it a something? And you just start to try and find all the different chords that you got with him and cut them. And then more than anything, you continuously have this affirmation, I give this I give this one to the Christ and I go free. So it's like I give my brother to the Christ and I go free. So you continuously, it's like that in and of itself will start to clear things because you've placed his body as your responsibility, because in another time both it was your responsibility. You follow what I'm saying? So your consciousness is willingly allowing the attacks to come through and the negativity come through because it doesn't want to shut a door to him. Now through soul consciousness, you can have intimacy with him that doesn't require back doors and basic self attacks and all that fun stuff. You can just be with him in the intimacy of the soul, which is not doesn't have all this negativity going on.
I think I'm mostly mad that he's denying it, and I feel like it's making me crazy because I feel
Well,
it.
no, but I'm trying to tell you the issue with him denying it is it can't be cleared. So it's an unsolvable problem. As soon as he refuses to address the truth, you can't have him clear it, or you can't have him stop the behavior. It's like you
Then I'm
can't
stuck. I feel stuck. Yeah.
exactly. That's my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's like I'm helpless to stop all this negativity from hitting me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not around him, but I still feel it. Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said you have chords between your
Yeah.
basic self and his
Yeah.
basic self. He could be across the world and
Yeah.
be doing this in China and you would still feel it.
Well, I had an Akashic record reading yesterday about it, and interesting, they said the cord thing, and they cut the cord. And then I heard from
Well,
him last night, and I haven't heard from him in months, but we got into a total fight.
yeah, maybe
And
once the
and
chords
then it feels more, yeah, then it feels more strong now again after the cord was cut.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like
Yeah.
it's a sticky old relationship, and you
Okay.
have to get to the place where you're real neutral.
I give my brother to the Christ and I go free. Is that what you said? I really
Like
love that.
literally, like a baby in your hands, you give the baby into the arms of the Christ.
And he'll be okay.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting I would say
I
the
give him
Christ
to
is
the Christ.
probably a responsible caretaker for your brother, probably more adept than you at certain things. But yes, that's
No.
that's why I give it to the Christ, because like it's
And
like
he's a part of the movement, so I just ask for light to him.
yeah,
Really.
and, regardless of what he does, he's still part of the movement because the movement of spiritual inner awareness is what everybody on the planet that has a soul is doing, and moving in spiritual inner awareness. We don't
Yeah.
have a monopoly on that. That's just what's going on.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tools that help that process, but he
Yeah.
may not be ready for those tools right now, or he might
Yeah.
be challenged. I mean, I had a close friend of mine uh, have a situation where the initiation was deactivated due to drug use. Then they got through the cleanup of all of that, and now they're in it hardcore, reactivated, and they're even stronger than before.
Yeah.
I
Thank you for
had I had friends growing up. I wasn't really rebellious with the MSIA thing because I just had this awareness that like it's the best thing going. So what's the point of rebelling against it? Like I just didn't have that. But I had friends, very close friends that are still close friends that went off and did crazy drugs and did all the crazy breaking of guidelines and trainings and the sex and all that kind of stuff. And if you had to ask me like who's the least likely to become a member of staff or like close to the movement, it would be them, and they're here they are.
yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
we can't assume that we know God's plan and the perfection of that. JR often tells a story like don't judge the drunk on the street because that might be the last thing that person needs to do before they enter the heart of God.
I think that's the main thing that is disturbing my peace is I am aware I'm not innocent in this. Like I am fully judging him. Like I am angry at him, and it's not just about the leaks. I'm angry that he's lying, like I'm watching his behavior and it's triggering me
That's
all.
great. So do forgiveness, do shadow work on being a liar.
Yeah. And
Make
that's
it okay make it okay that you're a liar.
uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Where am I out of integrity? Yeah.
Make it okay that you're judgmental.
Yeah.
Judging your judgments so that you can judge your judgment judging, that's just like a, you know,
Yeah. That's
it's
it.
just adding insult to injury.
That's it. Thank
Instead,
Yeah.
give that part of you a safe place to do the judgment thing. And then when the judgment thing is done, say, okay, what's really going on underneath that? And can we heal that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the worst experiences I've ever had is when you go to a friend and you need to vent and they start editing your expression.
Uh-huh.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
And then one of the best experiences I've ever had in that is somebody letting me just vomit it all out. And then when I'm done, they go, are you done? You go, yeah, I'm done. And you go, okay, now let's really look at that. And then we look at it together and then it actually clears.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if you've ever, I mean, we've all had the experience of having a friend in college that needed, we were out drinking and they needed to go vomit. And
Yeah.
what good would it have done to shame them while vomiting or try to block
Give
their
them advice while they were dominating.
try to plug up their mouth while they're vomiting and see how far that gets you. So you gotta let the part of you that needs to judge do what it does.
Okay.
But the intention is I'm gonna let all this go. I'm gonna let all this express so that I can get to the bottom of what's really going on. Rather
Yeah.
than making it wrong that you're judging, just
Yeah.
don't put any stock in it and say, this is what I'm doing right now to get this out of my system. I don't have a better way.
Yeah.
You all try something else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that helps a lot, really. I appreciate you, love you, and love this community. Thank you.
All right. God bless you. Thank you. All right. All right, everyone. I am coming up to the end of my time with you. God bless you. I love you. Peace be still. The blessings already are. And oh, we have an event on this Saturday, John and I and Lee Taylor Young. So if you'd like to register, maybe somebody can post a link. But despite the email marketing, I am in fact featured as part of that. So please register if you haven't already. It's going to be a fun event. God bless you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.